Now, I know Affliction Warlocks and Balanced Druids are doing really good with AoE damage and multi-dotting right now, which is basically, they're kind of like taking the game over for their ability to become top in DPS charts. But if you are a very good strategic elemental shaman, you can do some massive AoE damage. Now check this out. Right now we are defending our blacksmith, and I am basically trying to focus on staying back. I'm staying away from the team. As you can see, I peeled off of that monk there, and he's going ahead and focusing other players, and I see a great opportunity of many players right in front of me, so I went ahead and popped my heroism and my elemental mastery to increase my haste, and I am just spamming my lightning, my chain lightning as much as I possibly can. You can see it is proccing my elemental overload, and it is doing a massive amount of damage to their team. Now the thing about elemental shamans is that it's very visual. Everyone can see this. I mean, look at that. That looks amazing. It's such a cool visual animation, but unfortunately it pulls a lot of heat. You can see this Death Knight notices that I'm doing a lot of damage to their front line, and he's focusing me. Luckily, I have a Shadow Priest with me that is going ahead and focusing on him. He knows that I'm doing good AoE damage, so he's going to focus out that Death Knight that's pressuring me. I'm going to fall back. Whenever I'm taking a lot of damage and a lot of heat, pulling a lot of aggro, I'm going to go ahead and fall back and try and go ahead and regenerate my health before I go back into the front line. Now, unfortunately for me, I have a rogue, literally my worst enemy. Like, literally out of all the classes, rogues are like they're my worst enemy. I can't do anything when they're on me, so I'm going to try to ignore them the best I can. You can see I'm getting in a hardcore stun lock here. Everybody focuses me, everybody notices I'm here, and I go down pretty hard. Now we go ahead and we return back to blacksmith. This is about a minute or two later, we regroup. We have a small force attacking blacksmith again, for most of their team is scattered throughout the map, and I'm just with my team dropping down my totems here, dropping down some CC, trying to do my tremor totem to do a few knockdowns, and then here I go and spam my chain lightning. I am trying to hit these targets with as much AoE damage as I can. I think they have a healer in their team, so it's not going to do enough to push them down and pressure down their healers, but you can see that this is an amazingly great way to just, do a lot of AoE damage. Now, of course, I'm going to pull on a massive amount of aggro. Everyone saw my chain lightnings coming from the side, so I'm going to go ahead and get bursted down by multiple targets here. So that's fine. We didn't manage to take that over, but now we are doing an offense on Lumber Mill. The game is almost over. We are winning, and if we manage to get this Lumber Mill cap, it is going to be game. So I'm in the background here. You can see that my front line is doing a great job in pulling all the aggro. I'm positioned nicely in the back here. My other guys around me are fighting. They're focusing on my other team while I'm just standing here nicely, free casting so many chain lightnings in their team, applying so much AoE damage to them. It is unreal. You can see that I have lightning rod activated, so a lot of these guys are taking a lot of damage from my chain lightning. I'll explain to you guys after exactly how that works and how my different talents and whatnot has synergy with one another. But right now we just captured the Lumber Mill flag. It's kind of on, it's like we're capping it right now, so I'm going to focus on trying to keep players off of the flag and also off of my healers. So you can see that there's a Death Knight here. He's kind of focusing on me. He doesn't like me, so I'm just going to focus on CCing him. I have another buddy damaging him, so he gets out of that hex, but I'm just going to kind of try and ignore him. Hopefully my healer's going to keep me up, which they do manage to do, and that Death Knight goes ahead and buggers off me because he's like, well, I'm never going to get this guy down, so there's really no point at all. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep casting my chain lightnings on these guys. They're on my healer right now, so I want to try and push these guys down first, because it is critical. It is critical for you to have a healer focusing on you and healing you, especially if you start to pull aggro. That's really critical for you to do. And this guy's on me. He's stuck on me, but I managed to get some fat heals on me right now because my healer's just doing a great job. So I'm pushing him away. I'm just kind of doing some multi-dotting. Another great way to play if you can't do chain lightning, or if there isn't enough targets that are available for your chain lightning to be maximum effective, you want to go ahead and use your multi-dotting flame shock. You want to flame shock as many targets as you can, and then shoot your instant proc lava bursts whenever they're available on high priority targets. But as soon as you have a large cluster of players that are available for your chain lightning, like an easy cast and easy AoE damage, you want to go and switch over to that tactic again, because that is what you're built towards, and that is what you are going to be most effective in dealing as much damage as you can to their team. So you can see here that they're pushing back, and we're actually winning this fight here. They're totally dying. There we go. We're knocking these guys down. They don't have any healers, and we eventually end up winning this, so that's really great. So this is the end of the video here of the gameplay footage, guys. So I want to share with you guys the way I like to build my talent and my honor talent for this playstyle. With this build, in my opinion, is going to be your most effective way in dealing the most amount of AoE damage with this playstyle. So for your first tier in your regular talents, I'm going to do Totem Mastery. Now, Totem Mastery, the only thing I'm really paying attention about this is that the Storm Totem is going to increase the chance that your Lightning Bolt and Chain Lightning will trigger Elemental Overload by 10%. So now your Chain Lightning has a 10% increased overload chance, which is wonderful. It's going to increase the amount of AoE damage you're going to do. For your level 30, whatever you like. I like Gust of Wind, but you can do whatever you want. This won't affect the amount, this won't affect this build or this playstyle at all, really. Same with your level 45, you do whatever you think is best suitable, whatever you need personally. For your level 61, I would do Ancestral Swiftness for the 10% haste. Of course, you're just going to be casting a lot faster. Elemental Blast is an option. I personally think you're going to be spending a little bit too much time actually casting Elemental Blast, and the amount of stats you're going to get as it's like the amount of secondary stats you're going to get from this perk, like if you're going to get crit or you're going to get mastery, may not be as effective. I think Ancestral Swiftness is going to be a lot more effective. Level 75, it doesn't matter what you want to do, choose whatever you want, it won't affect this build. Your level 90, you want to do Elemental Mastery. This will allow you to get 20% increased haste for 20 seconds with a 2-minute cooldown. This is going to be for when you want to punch. This is when like the first wave, when you guys are first approaching in Battlegrounds, everyone pops hero, then you go ahead and stack this up. You're gonna be like, there's just so much damage output you're gonna be doing, and then it's only a 2-minute cooldown, so you're gonna actually be able to use this for any type of situation where you have a lot of enemies and you have a great opportunity to deal a lot of AoE damage. Lastly, for your level 100 talent, all 3 of these are actually very effective. I personally choose Lightning Rod because what this move does is that your primary target that you're casting your Chain Lightning on has a 30% chance to go ahead and get Lightning Rod debuff on them. Now what this debuff does is that all the damage that your Chain Lightning does to all the targets, no matter who target it is, no matter who it is, it takes all that damage, combines this damage, cuts it by 40%, and gives it to the person with the Lightning Rod debuff. Now this doesn't have to be on a single target. I've had multiple targets with the Lightning Rod debuff as well. So when you're casting Chain Lightning and you're switching over, like tabbing over to new targets, these new targets have a chance to get the Lightning Rod, and all the damage that your Chain Lightning will do will also be affected to this targets, which is going to increase your single target damage. Now, great options is also Ascendance. Downside of Ascendance is that it has a 3-minute cooldown, but in Ascendance form, for 15 seconds, your Chain Lightning becomes Lava Beam. This is going to be really good with your initial burst or any type of situation where you have to do a large amount of AoE damage in a short period of time. And then Liquid Magma Totem is nice too. I would choose Liquid Magma Totem over Ascendance because it only has a 1-minute cooldown. And it's really nice because you just place the totem down by a flag or something, and it just starts doing an insane amount of AoE damage for 15 seconds to all the enemies in its area. Now, taking a look at our honor talents, your first tier doesn't matter, whatever you want. I always do Gladiator's Medallion, 2-minute cooldown on your trinket, and then Train of Thought, I love to do. Now, this is for more skilled players. If you can stay in the backline and not receive any damage, their damage output is going to be increased by 15%. No-brainer, best option for this tier, but if you do take a lot of damage or a lot of heat, if you're newer to this playstyle, go ahead and choose Mind Quickness because then you're going to increase your haste by an additional 6%. Then for your level, your 3rd tier, I like to do Sky Fury Totem because first of all, is the only one that's really going to amplify you in the way that you're going to be more efficient in AoE damage, because your critical strikes with your Chain Lightning are going to be 30% stronger. And then also it's great because it only has a 45-second cooldown, and your whole entire team within a 40-yard range gets their critical strike like effectiveness increased. This includes your healers and your other offensive DPS players in your team, so I think Sky Fury Totem is definitely the way to go. Then for your 4th tier, doesn't matter, do whatever you want, this won't affect your playstyle at all. 5th, I like to do Elemental Attunement, increases your maximum Maelstrom by 50%. Now this is nice because now if you have 150 Maelstrom, you're generating Maelstrom so ridiculously fast when you're casting Chain Lightning. Only a couple Chain Lightnings will actually max this out. So if you have 150, it's going to increase your pool, and this allows you to drop 3 Earthquakes in a row, like all together, because it's cost 50 Maelstrom per an Earthquake. So if you drop 3 of these down in a large area, like all connecting with one another, you have a huge Earthquake range. This is going to maximize your amount of AoE damage, and it is also going to do a lot of CCing because a lot of targets actually get knocked down from this. It really hurts spellcasters especially. And then lastly, it really doesn't matter what you choose. I like Traveling Storms because you can get the potential range on your ally champion or an ally character on your team where you can go ahead and do a big knockback and push people off the edge. So anyways, guys, that is my kind of like my playstyle on how I like to play elemental shamans in BGs. If you guys did like it, be sure to go ahead and like the video. If you do want to see some more World of Warcraft or League of Legends content, be sure to subscribe, share this video with your friends if you think that any of them would enjoy it. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on my next video.